Jess, maybe we could start with you saying your name, your specialty, and what state you reside in.
Sure. I'm Jessica Degley Alberti. I'm a family nurse practitioner. I've been in primary care for 13 years now. I work at a community health center in Worcester, federally qualified health center. Um,
Okay. Worcester, Mass.
Worcester, Mass. Sorry. Yep.
So let's go now to how things looked and what led you to come to coaching.
Yeah. So over the 13 years, I have struggled closing the notes. Our EHR is not the most effective in the world, and um, everyone's I would get behind and then I'd either do a Herculean effort and try to finish them, but I got to a point that was way past where it had ever been. And so my open notes, I think it was like maybe March or April that I saw your ad. And so I had some open notes way back to November. It was a particularly hard winter with illnesses for my kids and trying to maintain work at the same time.
Okay. So it was the charting and then also around reactivity. Was that also another reason?
Well, sure. I mean, being super behind was anxiety provoking, right? And so we know the GAD-7 or the PHQ-9, like, your irritability level goes up.
Mhm.
And so for sure, I was more reactive at home because, of course, your family gets the brunt of that. So I have two kids, 8 and 12, and that's not the type of mom that you want to be.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And how did Dina help you?
Yeah, so she is another nurse practitioner, so kind of knew the path we had taken. And so she had me take a self-compassion quiz that really highlighted what I considered my strengths, come up with a mantra that was I am kind, I am brave, I am loving, which are things that I hold dear to myself. And I also have the joy of being on the school committee too, so that comes into that. But I think, you have an inner negative self monologue that is not great for you, right? Just being a parent, yelling at kids is not a way to motivate them to do stuff. And, having the inner monologue of "you suck, why can't I just do this? Other people finish these notes. What's wrong with me?" is not helpful to anyone. But that certainly was my inner monologue. And I had gotten to a point where I was just way underwater, much, much more than before ever. Um, so
So how did Dina help with all that?
yeah, so the self-compassion quiz came up with that mantra, and I realized I had kind of done that before, but not consciously. So I had changed my password to like work sucked or something along those lines. And then, um, after typing that 20, 30 times in a day, it really was quite a bit of a downer. So, um, changing it to something, including something that brought me joy, rather than being a negative mantra, really, so having that mantra that I said consciously every day,
Mm.
um, you know, taking that moment before going into an exam room to take a deep breath, to try to tame the chaos that was in my brain before entering into a new room. Um, and then, having self-compassion, like, yeah, I'm behind, but I am still giving good care and, trying to focus on the positive things that I was achieving, in order to give myself the ability to continue on and try to chip down on all those open notes and my
Yeah.
tasks.
You told me that you moved from a backlog from November to a backlog from July. Big,
Yes.
big
Yep.
movement.
So
Yeah.
it's significant. Yep. I was able to chip away day at a time and week at a time and month at a time. So
Yeah.
that took some time, but and I'm changing my schedule to hopefully build in that time and not have to rush home and then not finish the notes in real time.
So
Which
I'm hearing she really helped you bring a lot of things out of the blind spot, kind of things that were impacting you, like perfectionism and procrastination and self-criticism, etc. really helps you kind of see them more clearly. So now you can change your focus to things that are more really help kind of fuel you to get the job done and to have the balance that you want.
Yeah, having that insight that I do have perfectionism that's affecting my desire to close those notes just because
Mhm.
not everything's tied up in a perfect little bow. Um, I never really thought I did, and but it's really great insight to say that's what's leading me to procrastination, rather than just avoidance, right? So I am trying to close my notes in real time, but find a way to allow that perfectionism to to not, to still be able to say, all right, this is pending, keep an eye out for that, but to close the note because I was not closing it because things are still pending.
Yeah. What would you say to somebody, to another NP or PA who's struggling with charting, doesn't really know what this whole coaching thing is, maybe is a little bit skeptical, and what would you say to them to help them understand how it's been helpful for you?
So I think coaching with Dina and MD can help has really helped give me some insight about kind of what's happening in the background and why, in my head, and why it has led to me being behind. So, really, touch charts once, and not do this huge chart dive every single time I go into a patient's chart and just do the task or finish the note and not, make it this huge rabbit hole. So I think it's really helped on my journey to be more efficient with my time. It's certainly I'm still on the journey, but it has really helped me give me a lot of insight on why I was doing things and to help work on that to not be such a barrier.